Greetings, Spartan, and welcome back to the UNSC Infinity War Game Simulation Training Program. Today we will be covering the Covenant Fuel Rod Cannon. The T-33 light anti-armor weapon is a man-portable version of the vehicle-mounted fuel rod cannons manufactured by the merchants of Keycoast. During the Covenant War, these weapons were developed by the assembly forges on High Charity, but when High Charity was lost to the Flood, so were the forges. This weapon is recoil-operated and fires highly volatile radioactive fuel rods that, on contact, result in a deadly explosion that is effective against both armor and personnel. The rounds it fires are radioactive fuel rods that are similar to the ones used in the T-51 carbine, but these rods are much larger and they're placed inside canisters that are filled with an incendiary gel. Not much is known about this gel, but when the rod strikes a surface, the radioactive explosion produces temperatures that are as hot as any standard plasma weapon. Now, these rods generally come in a clip of 5, and we don't know exactly what holds the clip together, but we do know that when the trigger is pulled, a rod is ejected from the weapon, and after a very short activation delay, the caps on each end of the canister are destroyed, which is why the fuel rod seems to explode a short moment after leaving the barrel. This delay allows the projectiles to ricochet after being fired to protect the operator, but if the rod strikes a soft target or doesn't have the appropriate angle, it will detonate on impact. The cannon fires 38mm radioactive explosive ballistic projectiles at a rate of 155 rounds per minute from a 5-round clip that can be reloaded in 2.6 seconds. The standard red reticle range of this weapon is 38.1 meters, but it does come equipped with a scope that can extend this range to 76.19 meters. The only way for a single fuel rod to kill an enemy Spartan is with a direct hit. The explosion has a 7.75 meter radius, and Spartans caught near the epicenter of the explosion will lose 2/3 of their shielding, but if you do not hit your target directly, you will need at least 3 close range hits to kill them. And if you're facing an opponent with an overshield, you can remove it in 2 direct hits, meaning 1 more direct hit will kill them. Now, the radius of the fuel rod's explosion is not affected by the explosives upgrade. Therefore, the only way to increase your damage output is with a damage boost. With this power-up, you will only need 2 nearby hits to kill a Spartan, and 1 direct hit will remove an overshield. Against vehicles, the fuel rod isn't the best in terms of power. It requires multiple direct hits to destroy even the lightest vehicles, and almost 2 full clips to destroy a tank. However, if you couple this with a damage boost, you can destroy most vehicles rather quickly, since the fuel rod cannon has a high rate of fire. But you will have to rely on direct hits, not near misses, so make your shots against vehicles count. While the fuel rod cannon may be much weaker than its counterparts, it does have a higher rate of fire and a larger capacity. This makes it capable of both spamming an area and taking single precise shots. Both of them have their uses, but you should go for direct hits in most cases since it's the fastest way to guarantee a kill. You can still fire multiple shots, but you should try to actually hit your target if you can. Another reason to go for a direct hit is because the shots can ricochet if they hit a surface at the right angle before they are activated. At first, this may seem kind of useful. You may think that you can ricochet these rounds and make really fancy shots that your opponents won't expect, and while this will happen on occasion, more often than not, it will just cause your shots to miss. Because normally when you're using an explosive weapon, you can shoot surfaces near your target to kill them with splash damage, but if your opponent is too close to you when you fire the shot with the fuel rod cannon, your shot may just bounce away from them. So unless you're far enough away, don't go for splash damage. Wait until your reticle turns red, and then pull the trigger. You should also know that if you shoot a surface or target right in front of you, you won't be killed by the explosion unless you are already hurt. So if someone gets too close for comfort, feel free to fire away if you have enough shielding. Now, shots at a distance are much harder to land. When you fire a rocket launcher or incineration cannon from a distance, you can rely on the splash damage to get the kill. But with the fuel rod cannon, you'll still need a direct hit. This is made even more difficult because the projectiles will actually drop over time, so you will need to aim above them in addition to whatever other adjustments you need to make to your aim. So I really don't suggest using this for a long-range shot. Save your ammo for closer ranges where it can do more damage more quickly. And lastly, because of its high capacity, the cannon makes a great area of denial tool. Nothing says stay back like a hail of radioactive death. You can use this to cover doorways, objectives, and providing teammates with suppressing fire when it's needed. Despite being the weakest launcher, the fuel rod cannon is probably the best for anti-personnel use. It requires a little more accuracy, but the high capacity allows you to chain multiple kills together in quick succession. Just make sure that you go for direct hits, otherwise you may need to use your entire clip to get a single kill. But in the right hands, this weapon is deadlier than either of its counterparts. So, never pass up the opportunity to take this cannon to fuel the fires of rage. Thank you for watching this episode of my Halo 4 weapon guides. If you enjoyed it, please have a look at my other videos and be sure to stay tuned for more to come. As always, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching. My name is Matt, and I'll see you next time.